Hello, all you freedom-loving people. President Trump says that he is really serious about Canada becoming the 51st state. And after Fauci's federal pre-pardon, is Fauci really safe from state prosecution? Okay, let's get into it. The New York Post reported that President Trump says that he's already spoken with Russian President Vladimir Putin on the phone to discuss ending the war in Ukraine, but President Trump has not said how many times they have talked. During an exclusive interview with the New York Post aboard Air Force One on Friday regarding how many times they've talked, President Trump said, "I'd better not say." Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov told the TASS state news agency that many different communications are emerging between Moscow and Washington. President Trump said that he believes Putin does care about the carnage on the battlefield. President Trump said he wants to see people stop dying. All those dead people, young, beautiful people, they're like your kids, 2 million of them, and for no reason. President Trump said that he had a specific plan to end the war. He said, "I hope it's fast. Every day people are dying. The war is so bad in Ukraine, I want to end this damn thing." President Trump instructed National Security Advisor Mike Waltz. He said, "Let's get these meetings going. They want to meet. Every day people are dying. Young, handsome soldiers are being killed. Young men like my sons on both sides, all over the battlefield." President Trump told reporters at the White House on Friday that he may meet with President Zelensky this week also. When asked if the conference would be held in Washington, D.C., President Trump said that it could be in Washington. He isn't planning to go to Kiev, though. Zelensky will attend the Munich Security Conference in Germany next week. Vice President Vance and President Trump's special envoy to Ukraine and Russia, Keith Kellogg, will also attend. They will meet there. President Trump revealed that he plans to reach a $500 million deal with Zelensky to trade security guarantees for access to rare earth minerals and natural gas in Ukraine within the framework of a potential peace agreement. Ukraine is also willing to establish a mineral partnership with the United States. Last fall, Ukraine floated the idea of opening up its key mineral resource investments to its allies. Ukraine has the largest reserve of titanium in Europe as well as uranium. Titanium is vital to the aerospace industry, while uranium is used in the manufacture of nuclear energy and nuclear weapons. Many of Ukraine's titanium deposits are located in the northwestern region far from the war. Ukraine has rapidly adjusted its foreign policy approach to the vision of the new Trump administration. Zelensky said that because the Americans have helped the most, the Americans should get the most. They should have priority in developing resources. Zelensky also wants to discuss this with President Trump. Elon Musk's DOGE team at the Treasury Department found it suspicious that $100 billion a year is paid to people without social security numbers or temporary IDs. Musk wrote on X, "Yesterday I was told that there are currently over $100 billion a year of entitlement payments to individuals with no social security number or even a temporary ID number. If accurate, this is extremely suspicious." When I asked if anyone at the Treasury had a rough guess for what percentage of that number is unequivocal and obvious fraud, the consensus in the room was about half. So $50 billion a year or $1 billion a week. This is utterly insane and must be addressed immediately. Prior to Musk's revelation about lax oversight at the Treasury Department, on Friday, 19 Democratic attorneys general filed a lawsuit claiming that Musk's team violated the law when they were allowed full access to the Treasury's payment systems. Then, U.S. District Judge Paul A. Engelmeyer blocked the team from accessing the Treasury Department system, citing the risk of irreparable harm. The injunction came into effect on Saturday. But then on Sunday night, the Trump administration's Justice Department filed an emergency motion to vacate the ex parte temporary restraining order, which prevents DOGE from accessing the Treasury Department's payment system. It restricts access to civil servants. It explicitly excludes all political appointees from accessing these systems. On its face, the order could be read to cover all political leadership within the Treasury, including even Secretary Bessent. The filing by the Trump DOJ says, to the extent the order applies to senior political appointees at Treasury, it is an extraordinary and unprecedented judicial interference with a cabinet secretary's ability to oversee the department he was constitutionally appointed to lead. Interfering with those basic functions, even for a day, will cause irreparable harm to the government. Just after the federal judge blocked DOGE from accessing the Treasury system, Musk decried the ruling as insane. According to Musk, DOGE investigators discovered that government payments were being made with no proper documentation, no audit trail, and zero accountability. The ruling triggered a strong reaction from the White House. The White House denounced the ruling as judicial overreach and labeled the judge who issued the ruling as a radical. On Saturday afternoon, Musk outlined a list of super obvious changes that DOGE plans to make at the U.S. Treasury Department this week. He plans to require that all outgoing government payments have a payment categorization code. All payments must also include a rationale for the payment in the comment field. And do not pay lists of entities or persons must be updated at least weekly, if not daily. And DOGE staff will not change any data in the Treasury system. Musk wrote, the above super obvious and necessary changes are being implemented by existing long-time career government employees, not anyone from DOGE. Elon Musk explained why the fraud persists. He wrote, everything at Treasury was geared toward complaint minimization. People who receive money don't complain, but people who don't receive money, especially fraudsters, complain very loudly, so the fraud was allowed to continue. However, he praised the working level staff of the Treasury. He said, I do want to credit the working level people in the Treasury who have wanted to do this for many years but have been stopped by prior management. And President Trump is very proud of Elon Musk's talents. He says, Musk saves U.S. taxpayers trillions of dollars a year in wasteful and corrupt spending. For example, Musk's team discovered that FEMA sent $59 million last week to luxury hotels in New York to house illegal migrants. So the DOGE team will use a clawback demand to recoup those funds. President Trump said in the Oval Office on Friday, Elon is doing a great job. He's finding tremendous fraud and corruption and waste. Before the Super Bowl, President Trump was interviewed by Fox News. He said that he would immediately have Elon Musk look into the Department of Education and the Pentagon.
Trust Elon? Oh, he's not gaining anything. In fact, I wonder how he can devote the time to it. He's so into it. But I told him do that. Then I'm going to tell him very soon, like maybe in 24 hours, to go check the Department of Education. He's going to find the same thing. Then I'm going to go to the military. Let's check the military. We're going to find billions, hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud and abuse.
And the Department of Defense is the largest federal department with a budget approaching $1 trillion a year. Marco Goulet, one of the two DOGE employees who was granted access to the Treasury Department's payment system, resigned amid controversy. His resignation came as the direct result of a Wall Street Journal report that says that he made pro-racist and eugenic comments on the internet. In some deleted posts that the young genius posted last year, it says, I was racist before it was cool, and you could not pay me to marry outside my ethnicity, among other posts. On Friday morning, Musk launched a poll on the X platform asking followers whether DOGE should rehire the member who had made inappropriate comments under a pseudonym. Within hours, the poll had amassed more than 300,000 votes with nearly 80%, including Vice President J.D. Vance in favor of bringing Goulet back. Goulet posted last September a post that said, normalize Indian hate. The vice president's wife, Usha Vance, is the daughter of Indian immigrants. Vance said in a post that Goulet should be brought back. He said, I obviously disagree with some of Goulet's posts, but I don't think stupid social media activity should ruin a kid's life. A few hours later, Musk posted, he will be brought back. To err is human, to forgive divine. President Trump, when asked about Vance's response, said, I'm with the vice president. President Trump also permitted Musk to hire 45 additional employees to his team within his tech business. DOGE members are all unpaid and work 120 hours a week. That's like 17 hours a day, 7 days a week. Dr. Anthony Fauci, despite receiving a preemptive pardon from President Biden, has lost much of his social standing. Last month, President Trump revoked the taxpayer-funded security detail for Fauci, who is the former director of the NIAID. Also starting last week, a group of state attorneys general is seeking to investigate Dr. Anthony Fauci and his role in the COVID-19 pandemic. South Carolina Attorney General Alan Wilson is leading the coalition. Wilson posted on X, "New congressional findings expose lies and mismanagement. If there's evidence of state-level crimes, we want to see it and prosecute it. Biden's pardon won't stop us." In an official press release, he said that they are demanding accountability for alleged mismanagement and misleading statements and suppression of scientific debate. The attorneys general say that Biden's federal pardon of Fauci does not prevent state-level legal action. He said in an interview with Newsmax on Friday, "I want to send a message to all those who were pardoned that if the Congress and the Trump administration is able to provide all the states that are on this letter with the information, we are happy to evaluate it to see what, if any, legal recourse we can take, civil or criminal. No one is above the law, and while Mr. Fauci says he represents the science, we represent the law." The attorneys general requested the Congress to provide the states with information that could outline potential courses of action under state law should they exist. Also last week, HHS canceled more than $180 million in contracts, including a nearly $170,000 contract for an Anthony Fauci museum exhibit. Of course, this is also the result of scrutiny by DOGE. DOGE announced on Friday, in the last 48 hours, HHS canceled 62 contracts worth $182 million. These contracts were entirely for administrative expenses. None touched any healthcare programs. This included terminating a $168,000 contract for an Anthony Fauci exhibit at the NIH Museum. The Fauci exhibit was booked to be finished by July 2025, but has now been scrapped, along with other HHS administrative expenses. At this point, there's hardly any government department that can escape Elon Musk's sharp eyes. Musk made a call on Sunday for Radio Free Europe and for Voice of America to be shut down. Richard Grenell, the U.S. Special Envoy for Special Missions, criticized the outlets as taxpayer-funded media that is filled with far-left activists. Grenell wrote, "It's state-owned media. These outlets are a relic of the past. We don't need government-paid media outlets." And Musk agreed. He said, yes, shut them down. Number one, Europe is free, not counting stifling bureaucracy. Hello. Number two, nobody listens to them anymore. And number three, it's just radical left crazy people talking to themselves while torching $1 billion a year of U.S. taxpayer money. Voice of America, or VOA, was established in 1942. VOA is an international broadcasting organization that is funded by the United States government to spread the voice of the United States around the globe. Radio Free Europe is funded by the United States Congress. It was established in 1950 to provide truthful information to regions that were blocked by authoritarian regimes. President Trump said on Sunday during an interview before the Super Bowl that he is seriously considering making Canada the 51st state of the United States. When asked whether his talk of annexing Canada is a real thing, President Trump told Fox News, yeah, it is. I think Canada would be much better off being the 51st state because we lose $200 billion a year with Canada, and I'm not going to let that happen. Why are we paying $200 billion a year, essentially a subsidy to Canada? The U.S. does not actually subsidize Canada. By subsidizing, President Trump is referring to the $200 billion trade deficit. The U.S. imports natural resources from Canada, including oil. The merchandise trade deficit has grown in recent years, reaching $72 billion in 2023. President Trump also said that the United States subsidizes Canada because it allows it to make vehicles and other goods that are sold in the United States, and Canada could hardly survive without the states buying their oil and cars. President Trump also said if we stop allowing them to do that through tariffs and other measures, they're not viable as a country. President Trump also warned that Canada can no longer depend on the U.S. for military protection. He said, they don't pay very much for military, and the reason they don't pay much is they assume that we're going to protect them. That's not an assumption they can make because why are we protecting another country? I love the people of Canada. We have a great relationship. But if they become our 51st state, it would be the greatest thing they could ever do. It would be unbelievable. It would be a cherished state. And I think about how beautiful that country would be without that artificial line. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, in a closed-door meeting with business and labor leaders on Friday, also confirmed that President Trump was serious about making Canada the 51st state of the United States. He was caught on an open mic saying that annexing Canada is a real thing, but he claimed that it was because the United States was interested in Canada's natural resources. President Trump also said that he has not seen enough action from Canada and Mexico to stave off the tariffs that he may impose on them once the 30-day extension is up. He said, "No, it's not good enough. Something has to change. It's not sustainable, and I'm changing it." So President Trump announced on Monday a 25% tariff on all steel and aluminum imports into the U.S., including from Canada and Mexico, and he unveiled a plan for reciprocal tariffs later in the week. President Trump said, very simply, it's if they charge us, we charge them. And that's a wrap for this episode. Thank you so much for your support of Front Page. Please remember that every like, comment, and share helps more people to see the truth. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And if you have already subscribed, we thank you, but please double check to make sure that you're still subscribed because some of our audience have reported that they're somehow unsubscribed without their knowledge. We've also heard that many of you don't get notifications of our videos anymore on YouTube. So when you do subscribe on YouTube, please make sure to tap the notification bell as well. Okay, this is our show for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like what you heard today, please don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends and family because everybody deserves to know the truth.